you actually want to hit the, your goal is to hit and try to, you want to change off into a double every time if you can, you know. And that's what creates a better crackdown is by staying high. So as I hit my high crotch here, and I feel this arm getting blocked here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swisher my feet, okay? And as I swisher my feet, I'm going to drive. And what I've done is I've changed levels on him below his knees, okay? And I've driven him to his hip. Okay, again, a lot of it kind of depends on what he does, you know. Sometimes it looks like boom, you know, guys just really dump them, you know. Well, a lot of times it depends on whether he has time to sprawl or he doesn't have any sprawl, he's just blocking off, you know. So the way the guy actually gets cracked down, a lot of it's determined on how he looks, but the principle's the same on what I'm doing here. Once I get here, okay, I'm changing levels, okay, and as I stay put, stay in a square position. As I change, go ahead and bend your knees. Okay, as I change levels, I'm rotating around this leg. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm actually rotating around the leg. So I'm trying to sink this arm deeper. This arm is rotating around the leg. I'm staying below the knee. Okay. See, so when I get right in here, and I feel this lock, my elbow hitting the mat here, okay, I may just drive through him now, okay? And I'm always looking for the head to swim out, okay? So we get in, you're blocking here, okay, whoa. Okay, do it again. Now, as you rotate, I want you, that's what I want, that's it. I want you to change the levels. There you go. Okay, I don't go to my back, stop. Okay, any questions with that? Now, the position when you get there is essential. I mean, we got to be a master. And you can get there in a lot of different situations, but you know, we start here a lot of times. You know, anytime he's locked around my waist, you know, what I'm looking to do is I can do a couple things. You know, I mean, this is technique that's been, you know, developed over a lot of years, and you see a lot of times when guys get in, split the legs and they're down here, you see a lot of stalemates. You know, in freestyle, you see guys getting flipped over and exposed. We don't know this position very well. This generation doesn't know it very well at all. And it's really an important generation. I mean, it's an important position to really develop. If you get really strong in this position, then you're going to score a ton of points. And remember, you can get there from switches. You can get in this position from, you know, on your feet. You can, I mean, it's easy to be in this position. Put it that way. You know, and learn to finish when you're between the legs in a high cross position. Okay, you don't have to get there from a dump. So, you know, this is a position I mastered when I wrestled and really made a big difference for me. I scored a ton of points right here. But the one thing we want to focus on is I don't want to be getting flipped. I don't want a guy in my crotch. And not that he can't get there. I just want to know I need to know what to do when things happen, okay? When the guy locks around my waist right here, more than likely I'm going to have to change off to a double because I can't get back, okay? Now there is a technique where you come below this elbow and you expand your chest to break the lock, but that's a lot harder. You know, I don't teach that very often unless I have a kid that just knows the position really well. It's not a real good position to teach. What I focus on here is getting this leg straight, staying below this knee, okay? I don't want this guy to build his hips up. If he's been taught right, he's been taught to build his hips up and pop them out and square his hips up. Go ahead, okay, right here. Okay? As long as I stay below the knee, I'm fine. If he does that, I'll show you what you do because we still are below the knee, okay? this takes minutes, so I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on it, but remember, if you're gonna teach this stuff, you gotta put a lot of minutes into this. I mean, you're not gonna get people to learn this. And this is real detailed technique, but honestly, you know, you're gonna have some guys that need this, you know, to win state and things like that. So, right here, I'm gonna push this knee. I'm gonna scoop it with this knee. So my action's gonna be this. Push, I'm gonna go to my head and scoop. And all I'm gonna do is run him over that leg. Okay? Now, as he scoops, where you at, right leg?
Yeah.
Okay? As he's here, as he pushes, okay, he's gonna push the knee and bring this knee underneath and scoop it. Okay? Go. Right there. Okay? Now you can make the change off. You can go from here to here. Okay? Or a lot of times he's hit me so hard with it, you know, I'll just roll out. Okay? But making sure that we understand that this knee could be bent, he could be in here, okay, in the crotch, which is okay as long as our hips stay to the outside. We're going to push the knee straight, okay, right there. Scoop, change off. Okay, good. Now, of course, if I beat the lock, every time I dump here, every time I make a dump, I keep my elbows in. So I'm posted, I hit a post high crotch, or where I come off an elbow, past the elbow, okay, and I hit, okay, I'm always gluing this elbow to my hip. Even when I'm changing the tube, okay? But that keeps this guy from locking around my waist at all times. And it's technically, it's, you know, it's what you got to do in freestyle, you know. Collegiately, you're a lot better off than being extended here, keeping it here, and you're fighting here. So when I go to dump, okay, there's no lock. I keep him sealed off. If I'm sealed off, I'm going right to the head. Okay? Now, as he fights here and he throws his head back sometimes, okay? If he throws his head back, I've got to really explode to make sure that I can get to that cradle. Okay? It's not a matter of whether I'm going to score points. If you get a piece of the head, it's a matter of whether you're going to get back points or not. So, you know, there's tons of things in there. I mean, there's hundreds of things. You know, we get in here, okay? We're in here, we elevate, we can pop over the top, okay? Step over, across, perk, back up. Dump. Okay, he grabs my arm. A lot of times they'll block this arm right here. Okay, I reach up, grab the armpit right here. Okay, you got to be a little bit flexible. Okay, and just rocking them up. Pop the head out to here. I get in here, he's fighting, blocking maybe, and I can't quite reach up. Get your feet planted. Okay, I'll reach across, okay, to this far leg, and I'll run my hips over, hook it, hand comes out, here, hooking, hook the elbow, run it. The rest of the freestyle, you just want to expose it. Here I'm going to run it, collegiate, pop the head, keep it hooked. Okay, and finish. Okay, well, the big thing is to kind of fill the dump. If I'm a jumper, I can do a lot of things. Okay, I don't have to spin necessarily. I can shoot through the leg here and set it down if you know the position well. I'm here wrestling. Okay. But keep our heads up. If you're going to teach the dump position, you first teach your high crotch driving across, making sure you keep your head up. You wouldn't want to just teach the dump, because what happened is they'll have a tendency of dropping their head. And they're always going to be doing this. Trying to, don't give me that. Good, okay. You're going to kill you. You know, they'll always do this and get extended. You know, we want to be here. Head up, boom.
So your first choice is still always to come up and cut it across, up through.
Yeah, easier. But like against him, this is the only way you're going to finish. He's good, you're not going to change up. You know, really a high crotch, post high crotch to a double. The higher the level you go, the harder it is to get. You got enough time, guys hitting here as he's pulling, you got enough time to make some adjustments. So, you know, an international Olympic level goes out, you're seeing everybody finish on one leg and here, you know, popping them up. They're always blocking, you know. So just actually hit, changing off. I haven't done it a whole lot. I don't have any guys to do it. I think it's a good action to drill all the time, just to learn to focus on creating angles and using our head, you know, and you know. Any other questions on that? See anything, any situations in there? There's a tons of, you know. Guy gets into my crotch, I might as well show this. This is the one that seems to be a little bit of a struggle for people. Guy can get in my crotch. Okay, I'm gonna take this elbow, I'm gonna scoot it out. So he's starting to lift me. I don't really even have to do that. As he starts to lift me, all I do is take my leg and throw it to the front. Lift, lift. Now, I gotta battle this. So I gotta be ready to take his head off. Wow. Because the first thing he's gonna do with that leg is over the top. Okay? I'm gonna try to beat that. Anytime it goes over the top, anywhere my leg goes, on those scrambles where they're taking them over the head, my body needs to go. So if my leg's over here, I gotta come over here on this side. I don't wanna get crisscrossed. My body on one side, my foot on the other. So I come over here, and I start battling this head. If he takes it back over, sometimes you'll feel the 360 where he, boom, I'm hitting him, okay, trying to get him off. So if he's going back and forth, you know, as long as I keep, for him to score on any scrambles of what you're doing, remember, he's eventually got to get his head higher than mine, okay? And when you get your foot caught on the other side, go ahead, okay? If I stay over here, he's going to get higher than me, you know? Okay? So, I want you to do the crotch. You're in on my leg. So I'm locked in here into the crotch. I start to lift. He starts to feel it. I lose that pressure point of where I can pull him over the top when he throws his leg forward. So I don't have the angle to be able to take him. Boom, he's gone. Okay, just popping her head out. Out here. That's good. Any other questions on that? All right, any other situations?
Can you do some more